Hey guys, today we're looking at the Monster Go cubes. This line of cubes is by GAN and they make a lot of the great 3x3 speed cubes. I don't know exactly what we have in store today, but I think it's going to be a few normal cubes and a few trainer cubes. So this one looks like it's pink on every side except for one, which is white. So I guess this is just like a one-face cube. I guess if someone says they'll never be able to solve a cube, you can just get this one for them. Later on, I'll try to speed solve all of these, but I don't even know what they are yet, so let's look at what the other ones are. Here are all 6 Monster Go cubes, except not really, because these two are the same thing. They're both a one-face cube. I think pink is cool. We don't have it on any other cube, so I will put this away. So let's move up in order of difficulty. So the one face cube, there's not really any speed cubing method you would use where you actually have to make one face. You'd have to always make one layer, which is what that cube is for. But I think the interesting thing about this is it lets you play around with the cube to see if you can figure things out. When a lot of beginners pick up the cube for the first time, I like to see if they can make one face because this gives you a lot of intuition about how pieces on the cube move and how you can like hide pieces in order to get other pieces in their spot. Like this one going here, I can move the other side away, put this in, and then put this back. Very simple concepts like that I find are really great to learn from just making one face. And there's a clear goal where at the end you can say, hey, I actually was able to do it. Because a lot of people think the Rubik's Cube is some kind of genius thing, and it takes one step to be able to build the confidence to go further. But then of course, making one face however you like doesn't really help you solve much, so let's go on to the next cube, the one layer cube. It's interesting here that they chose black as the remaining color, while for this you can choose between pink and blue. That's kind of random. I think this is called the UT cube because this is a U and this is a T. All right, let's scramble this up and see how I would approach this. So I gotta say this cube feels a little flimsy, but when I try to corner cut like past 45 degrees and reverse corner cutting, yeah, it's pretty good. It's just maybe the settings are a little weird right now. For this cube, because you're building a layer, you have to get all the pieces in their right spot, not just white on this side, which is great for learning how to solve a cube. So I could like put the orange one here and that knocks out red, and then red and blue. And then I'd solve the corner pieces into the right spot. So this one has to go between red and green, this has to go between orange and blue, and this has to go between blue and red. I'm not too sure about this cube. I really like the way that the black looks compared to the other colors around it, but my problem with this one is if you're going to make one layer, then you're probably in an attempt to solve the whole cube, versus if you're just making one face, you're probably just like, it's your first time cubing and you want to make it seem like you did something. I've never gotten behind training cubes that are like this, where there are some pieces that are just not there, and then other pieces where those are the ones you're trying to solve. I do have videos where I have a cross thing like this, but my reason for it is different. It's because it's easier to show it this way so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's where I find this cube is really useful, where it's just for me to demonstrate something to somebody else. But for your own learning, I don't know if this would be that useful, and I can't say for sure, obviously, because I'm not a beginner. I've never tried this as a beginner, so who knows, maybe it could be useful. Next, we have the Monster Go Rainbow Cube. I get what they're going for, but this is not a rainbow. This is more like a flag. This cube I actually think is fun. I wouldn't call this much of a training cube as it doesn't really teach you any important concepts on the cube. So as we go through, you'll see why I don't consider this much of a training cube, as it doesn't help you with anything speed solving related. What's interesting about it though is each piece only has one color on it, which means there's no such thing as orientation of the pieces. If I corner twist, it's still the same thing. So let's go through an example solve of this. I would either start with white or orange, and white has more solved, so I'll just start with white. And I can't start with blue because blue would be like the middle layer. It'd be too hard. All right, so I probably just complete the cross, and then here, as I insert these white pieces here, instead of just making the first layer, I will do the first 2 layers together, and this can be done really, really easily. So just as an example, this white and this blue both need to go into the first and second layers, so I can take these two, just pair up the oranges, and replace it with a white-blue pair, like that. And then here's another one, and here's a white-blue pair. Can you see how to put it in? It would be like this. And then if you solve the first 2 layers, the last layer is solved. Actually, just for fun, I'm gonna try starting with blue on the bottom. I see how that goes because I have no clue what that would be like. All right, so this side's pretty much done. I will align it to this, and okay, these 2 are done. So I'm still thinking about it as like cross to F2L because that's how I think about all this. All right, so just orange on this side and white on this side. Actually, that's not too bad. So I can take this one, insert it into the back, and these 2 oranges, or I'll just do white. So these 2 white, and then these 2 orange, and these 2 white. And now I need, I guess, these 2 in each other's positions, and I can also swap these 2 while I'm at it. So that would be a T-firm. And there we go. So it wasn't too hard, but I still had to do one thing for last layer versus 0 if I start with white or orange, so it's not better. Obviously it wasn't going to be better starting with the blue, it was just kind of fun. Alright, not much of a training cube, but let's go on to the next two. These last two are just normal speed cubes. This one is non-magnetic, and this one is magnetic. I guess I'm switching over from that into a review of some speed cubes or my first impressions. The non-magnetic version is probably just the same thing as all the other ones. This cube is for $12 and magnets make a big difference, so I don't see why you would get this. Although one interesting thing that I just noticed is if you have black pieces and regular pieces, then what you can actually do is the thing I talked about earlier where you swap out pieces. So you can like just have a cross. Well, you would need more of these black pieces to do that. So yeah, I might actually get another one of these, combine it with the regular cube, and use that for certain steps when I make videos. All right, onto the magnetic version. I'll actually give my first impressions on this for its turning. Right now it catches a lot, feels a little tight, but overall it's not a bad cube at all. Since it's a GAN cube, let's actually take a look at the core. Yep, that's a GAN core. So here the little plastic thing is pointing at 0.6 on the right, and I'm gonna move it to 0.8. The other one is just remove this whole yellow thing. So I'll move it to 0.8. That will make it have more centerpiece travel distance. That's what the number means. So 0.8 is more distance to travel, which means looser. Push down and move this way. Now the thing's pointing at 0.8 over here. Okay, that looks a lot looser. All right, every side has been loosened more. I don't know if it looks like it, but they're definitely all on 0.8. I can't really even tell if it feels better. I don't feel like that has fixed the problem that I've felt with it. Very often the pieces are still catching, and I'm not exactly sure why, but there's not really anything else I can do with this. No magnet strength stuff. Obviously, GAN is not putting all that stuff on a $20 cube. It seems to maintain this sort of tight feeling, and that does make it very stable. So this is definitely like GAN's most stable cube, I would say, for having it on its loosest setting. I can see some people maybe liking this, like if you like the Volk and you're okay with the cube being very stable, but the trade-off being that it's a lot less flexible and a lot more catching. Well, of course, only the catching if you turn very inaccurately, like me. So let's take a look at corner cutting, starting with reverse corner cutting. Yeah, so this is actually pretty good. All right, let's do regular corner cutting. So 45 degrees, perfectly fine, line to line over here. Yes, a little bit tough, but that's expected. I'm not sure if this is the problem, but when I reverse corner cut, if it's a big or small amount, it seems to have the same amount of impact and resistance on the turn. In fact, I might even be having more resistance on the tiny corner cuts. And on something like the GAN XS, you can hear how little of an impact reverse corner cutting has. This is far quieter. Yeah, okay, so from doing some more turning, I definitely think, okay, what's the problem here? This is a reverse corner cut, and it's not going. I'm pretty sure it's the reverse corner cutting being difficult to do that is the problem of why I can't turn sometimes. So just from first impression, I would not recommend this, as it is $20 and you can get better cubes around this price range. Here are just some of your options, and I have reviews on a lot of these. Okay, now I will do one solve on each of these cubes to see if my cubing training has paid off. So I've done a lot of practice on kind of dumb things lately, but today I'm not going to practice. I'm just going to do one solve on each of these and see what I can get on my very first try. So let's start with the one face cube on pink. I'm going to do all of them, so I'll do blue as well. So I technically get 2 tries on this, but who knows? Maybe I'll be bad at recognition on one of them. Okay, see, this is why I get 2 tries. This is a terrible scramble. I can see how to make 6 of the pieces, so this and this and this. That's 5. Oh, plus the center. Okay, so 2 of the pieces, I don't know where they'll end up, but let's just go. Oh no, I placed them all so nicely. So 4 seconds, I don't know. That was like my first scramble. I don't even know what a good scramble is. Let's try this one. Okay, I've inspected about the same amount. Don't want to go too long, so I'll just start now. All right, that's much better. All right, now the 1 layer cube. So if my beginner method practice has paid off at all, I mean, actually, I don't remember the last time I tried to use beginner method. So I'll probably just go for a cross and then do the corners normally. I only get 1 try on this one. This scramble is really bad. All right, I guess I'm just taking an L on the first layer cube. You can't always win. Wow, that was like all the worst cases as well. It took me, I get solves faster than this. It took me that long to make one layer. Oh my, I am not impressed. All right, so this cube should be a lot easier as it's really similar to F2L, except I just have way more freedom. All right, I will try my best. I added an extra D move at the end, but okay. Yeah, so that one was pretty fast as expected. Now let's go on to, that one's magnetic. I'll do the harder one first, the non-magnetic. There were a lot of dumb things that solve. All right, magnets prove me to be okay at speed cubing. No. No. All right, there's my mean of 6, and there's my average of 6. I don't know what format we're using for this event. You can get all these at speedcubeshop.com, and you can go through the links in the description, and make sure you use the discount code JPERM. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.